Warning.
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 Warning. You are entering into the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. Too late. Personal Development Unplugged.
Hey, my friend, a 5-minute quickie. And it is literally going to be a 5-minute quickie because I just wanted to share with you something I heard on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. He was having a chat with a guy called the Knees Over Toes guy. And they were talking about all various things. And they were talking about the dedication that this guy, Knees Over Toes guy, had put into success. And he said he wasn't skillful, he wasn't into it, but he decided to make himself that way. And that made my ears prick up. And then Rogan asked the question, well, do you think you have to be born with that special skill? Or can you develop it in yourself? And it was as if the cogs in his mind were going round. Because then he came out with where he said, because when I was a youngster, said we were on, I think the term in the UK would be on benefits and things like that. So like state payments, because they were poor from an immigrant family. And he said, I really wasn't good at school. My attention wasn't there. I just couldn't do anything that didn't interest me. And he said, I was really wayward. And then I discovered Taekwondo. And he said, I became obsessed with it. I became super dedicated with it. And with that, obviously, he went to black belt. And he said, I then put that same skill, and that's a skill of being dedicated and obsessed with everything he did. He said, when I started to become a comedian, I just got super dedicated to it, super obsessed. And obviously, he's a great comedian. He put it into his jiu-jitsu, dedicated, super obsessed, black belt, into his UFC commentating. And I think we'll all agree, it's bloody good. And the podcast, creating the biggest podcast in the world, I think, big enough for anybody anyway. Getting super dedicated, super obsessed, and making it such a, well, it doesn't stop being curious, always trying to do better. And I think when you listen, certainly this is my opinion, he's a super kind guy, and that super kindness has grown, not diminished. He has such good morals and values. And they've just seemed to have come out even more. So the more dedicated he's been, the more obsessed he's been about learning stuff and getting good at stuff, those wonderful core values and beliefs. And that belief of all you have to do is becoming super dedicated, super obsessed, came overnight. As soon as you realized it. And that's what happens. We can change our beliefs overnight, just like that. And that's what we do here, isn't it? To get super obsessed about ourselves in a good way, not egotistical way, but in a way to get better, the best version of ourselves. If we can get super dedicated, super obsessed about being the best version of ourselves, we can do it. That's all there is. We don't need to be born with any skill. We'll acquire them along the way and make the world a better place. So I just wanted to share that with you, because when I heard that, my heart went zing. It missed a beat. It filled itself with joy that someone is spreading that wonderful belief that you can do anything you put your mind to. And that's it, putting your mind to. Having that belief. And it was such a simple belief, and simple beliefs just work. In simplicity, there's genius. So that's it. Let's just get obsessed now. Super dedicated of being the best version of ourselves. Right here along with the Unplugged Personal Development Podcast. And I'm going to do it. I know you're going to do it. And let's share it with everyone that we see by just being the example of being obsessed and dedicated to being the best version of ourselves. And let's see where that takes us. Anyway, that was it. Just a quickie. And I'll speak to you next time. It's time to fly, my friends. Oh, I wanted to add a little postscript because after I recorded this, I felt it would be really nice just to send Ben Patrick. Ben Patrick is the guy, the knees over toes guy. Just a little Instagram message saying I really appreciate what he did, and I really loved all the information that he gave and the way the podcast with Joe Rogan went. And he's such a nice guy. It was within about 20 minutes I got a reply for him saying thank you so much. And I then said we're going to do a little podcast around him, and he wished us well and said again thank you so much. And I'm in the UK, he is in the US, time differences and all that, but he was there on the money. So what a nice guy. So if you do get a chance to see what he's done, and if you've got some dodgy knees or shoulders, look up Ben Patrick, the knees over toes guy. It's a good guy. And by the way, I get nothing from this other than supporting good people. Okay, back to the fly away part.
Warning, you are now leaving the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. It's time to fly on your own. Be brave, my friend.
Personal Development Unplugged.